Lately, I've been testing a lot of AI coding tools because honestly, the whole space is moving ridiculously fast right now. Every week there's another best coding model, another benchmark, another agent framework, another tool that supposedly replaces developers completely. But after using most of them for actual projects, the experience is usually pretty similar. They're great at short, isolated tasks, but once projects become larger, involve multiple files, debugging, refactoring, longer context, or actual agent workflows, things start getting messy pretty quickly. The model loses context, breaks existing code, forgets instructions halfway through, or confidently tells you everything works while the app is completely broken. And that's why I wanted to test MiniMax M3, because this model is being positioned much more like an engineering and agent-focused model instead of just another chatbot that writes code. It is open weight, it's built for coding and autonomous workflows, it supports up to 1,000,000 token context window through the API, and it's natively multimodal. So instead of just talking about benchmarks for the entire video, I wanted to do something more practical and actually try building something with it. So the goal for this build was a modern music library web app. Basically something that lets user organize albums, create playlists, track recently played songs, search artists, manage a personal music collection, and view listening analytics with a clean modern UI. So I started with a pretty large prompt. Build a modern full-stack music library dashboard using Next.js and Tailwind. Include a sidebar, recently played section, playlist management, album cards, search functionality, listening analytics, dark mode, and responsive design. And honestly, one thing I noticed immediately is that M3 handles large instructions extremely well. Usually with prompts this big, models either ignore half the requirements or slowly drift away from the original structure after a few iterations. But here it stayed very consistent while generating multiple components, layouts, state management, and styling at the same time. The first version actually looked much better than I expected. The sidebar worked, playlists were functional, the layout was responsive, the album cards looked clean, and the whole thing already felt closer to an actual SaaS product instead of a random AI-generated demo project. Then I started pushing it further. I asked it to add listening analytics with charts, recently played history, animated transitions, and improve the mobile layout without changing the desktop structure. And this is usually where models start struggling because now they need to modify existing code without breaking previous functionality. But M3 handled the refactor really well. It updated the components across multiple files, preserved the original structure, improved the UI, and didn't completely destroy the app in the process, which honestly already puts it ahead a lot of coding models I've tested recently. Another thing I wanted to test was debugging, because generating code is one thing, but real development is mostly fixing problems. So I intentionally broke part of the playlist filtering logic and gave it the console logs together with the broken behavior. Then I asked, debug the playlist filtering issue where empty search queries crash the component. I had proper edge case handling and verified no regressions were introduced. And this is where the engineering focused side of the model became much more obvious. Instead of just patching the immediate issue, it analyzed the surrounding logic, added guards for edge cases, improved the filtering behavior, and suggested extra checks to prevent similar problems later. Which honestly feels much closer to how actual developers approach debugging instead of just generating the shortest possible fix. And this makes sense because one of the main things MiniMax focuses on with M3 is coding and agentic workflows. The model is designed for autonomous task decomposition, tool invocation, multi-step reasoning, debugging from logs, and longer engineering tasks where it has to keep working through a problem instead of just answering one prompt. And you can kind of feel that while using it. It feels much more stable during longer workflows compared to models that are mainly optimized for short prompt response interactions. Another major upgrade with M3 is the context window. The M3 API supports up to 1,000,000 tokens, with a guaranteed minimum of 512k tokens. And that matters a lot for coding because once you're working on a real project, context becomes one of the biggest bottlenecks. You don't just want the model to see one function. You want it to understand the project structure, the previous decisions, the logs, the documentation, the design requirements, and the bugs you've already fixed. MiniMax is using its own MiniMax Sparse Attention Architecture, or MSA, to make this kind of ultra-long context practical. And the way I think about it is pretty simple. Long context is becoming infrastructure for long-range coding, long-running agents, and even long video understanding. M3 is also natively multi-model, which is another big difference. This isn't just a text model with image support added on top later. MiniMax says the entire data pipeline was rebuilt with multi-model training from the beginning, so text and visual understanding are much more deeply aligned. That becomes really useful for practical workflows like understanding screenshots, UI references, charts, documents, diagrams, or visual bugs while still being able to reason through the code behind them. MiniMax also shared a pretty interesting example where M3 was tasked with independently reproducing an ICLR 2025 outstanding paper. It ran for almost 12 hours, produced 18 commits, and 23 experimental figures, and replicated the core experiments. And I think that example shows what this model is really trying to be. Not just a model that answers questions, but a model that can work across long horizon coding, multi-model reading, experiment logs, tool usage, and interactive execution. The benchmark numbers are also pretty strong. M3 reaches 59% on SWE Bench Pro, 66% on Terminal Bench 2.1, 34.8% on SWE Efficiency, 28.8% on Kernel Bench Hard, and 74.2% on MCP Atlas. And on Browse Comp, M3 scores 83.5 compared to Opus 4.7 at 79.3, so it's better. So MiniMax is clearly not just going after normal coding completion. They're going after coding, browsing, agents, long context, and multi-model understanding at the same time. And that's probably the most interesting part. Until recently, this combination was mostly something you only saw in a small number of closed source frontier models. Strong coding, million token context, and native multi-modality usually meant you were locked into a closed ecosystem, but M3 brings that full frontier style capability into the open weights world, and that's a pretty big deal. Another thing worth mentioning is the token plan. MiniMax updated the token plan with M3 access across 3 tiers. Plus is $20 per month and gives around 1.7 billion tokens of M3 usage per month. Max is $50 per month and gives around 5.1 billion tokens, and Ultra is $120 per month and gives around 9.8 billion tokens. What I like about that is that text, image, speech, and music all share the same usage pool. So instead of having separate plans or separate APIs for every modality, you basically get access to the MiniMax model family through one system. That includes M3, M2.7, image, speech, and music. And if you're building AI tools, agents, startup products, or just experimenting with multi-model workflows, that makes the platform much easier to work with. They're also offering a 12% discount on all token plan tiers for viewers. What I found interesting overall is that M3 feels less like a normal chatbot model and more like infrastructure for actual development workflows. That's probably the biggest difference. Most coding models still feel optimized for generate this function. M3 feels much more optimized for help me build, debug, understand, and maintain an actual product. And I think that distinction matters a lot moving forward, because AI coding is already getting very good at generating code. The harder problem now is maintaining stability across larger projects, debugging properly, handling long workflows, preserving context, understanding visual information, and operating more like an actual engineering assistant instead of a code autocomplete tool. And honestly, after testing it inside Cursor for a real project, M3 feels very focused in exactly that direction. So if you are building apps, AI agents, startup products, research workflows, or larger coding systems, MiniMax M3 is definitely one of the more interesting models I've tested recently. I'll leave the MiniMax platform, API docs, M3 report, and token plan linked in the description if you want to try it yourself. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, happy coding!